thank you to everyone who's attending, and a thank you to Tom Ferry and the entire organization. Every script that we cover today, along with every new script that we add, which is on a weekly basis, you can actually get access to. If you hit that QR code, you'll get access to listingleads.com. We have a free trial as a thank you to everyone who's tuning in today. And just one quick pro tip, we just dropped an email last week that is driving listing appointments like I've never seen before. So when you log into your account, check out the seller activation email. Is an absolute killer. So at a high level, Tom, that's the strategies. Again, I'm giving you just a tiny, tiny, small taste of what we're covering at Summit. And hopefully this is valuable for everyone who tuned in today.
So Jimmy, as always, you know what I love too? I love getting the sneak peek of because you promised at the Summit 30 different listing attraction campaigns. Yes. And I'm almost wondering, okay, really fast. Hector, turn on the chat. Hey,
Tom.
Yes, go ahead, Christy.
I have to let Jimmy know this, that yesterday I was coaching a brokerage in Riverside, Nest, Stephen Amaya's brokerage. I shared that email, and Sandy Chang immediately got off the phone, did it. She texted me and called me. She says, Coach, you're never going to believe what happened. He called me and he was like, it's the strangest thing. I've got this house to sell and I don't have an agent. And then you emailed me. It absolutely works. The people need to take action.
Love that.
I wanted to open up the chat just because you could see people are super fired up about this. Jimmy, I actually am going to make a statement. I think at this year's Success Summit, we shouldn't share that many listing attraction campaigns. I think those brains are going to pop. If you have not already made your reservation, I said it to you earlier before I bring up Coach Alicia. Listen, prices go up tomorrow. We're going to have between 5,500 and 6,000 people there this year. And that only means one thing, that what we are delivering in a day and age when a lot of conferences are being canceled, a lot of people are struggling to get people to show up in a room. It just tells you that my community, our ecosystem, the 35 different presenters are going to bring you so much damn value. It goes back to the same thing, like the 180-degree theory. People like you and I, when the masses are in a scarcity mindset, when the masses are in a mindset of confusion, when the masses are, in stopping marketing or, oh my God, they're just in this state of fear, what do? We do the opposite. We over prospect. We go back to expired listings, even if we don't like them. We remove our confirmation biases and we do what is right for the customers and we do what's right for our families. And that's what the Summit really, in a nutshell, is all about. So I highly encourage you to take advantage of it or wait and pay a few more shekels when you sign up. Don't do that. Hit that QR code. All right. This has been a rockin' show. We've got one last presenter. Buckle up. She is, I lovingly refer to as my most litigious coach, but also the person that I don't want to misquote the time, for 25 years now has led the way on buyer agency. She is the one that I turned to and said, Alicia, I need you to do your buyer brokerage presentation live. And it was the most watched show inside of our coaching ecosystem. It was like the highest starred rating show I think we had ever done. And she's my gift to you as we close out this powerful session. She's going to talk about some of the do's and don'ts. And this is a woman that is batting 1,000 on buyer brokerage agreements in the great state of Maryland. So, Alicia, I'm going to kill this and give you the power. Take it away, my dear.
Thank you very, very much. And I'm always honored when you invite me. Can you guys see? No, you can't. Can you see my slides? Yes?
I see in your slides.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. I was like, hey, Jimmy, how did he superimpose himself on top of slides? I had to be like Jimmy. So, I approached Tom several years back and I was like, I have a case. I like buyers. I think buyers are just as good as listings. And we all know that one transaction requires both. So, learning and diving into this. So Tom said, hey, can you run down some do's and don'ts? I was like, absolutely. You got it, top coach. So I'm going to dive right in here. And do number one is bottom line only. Now, what does that mean? And what that means is, so I actually tested this a little bit after the report came out, the 108 pages. I gathered a group of my closest friends, some of which I have sold real estate to, some of which I haven't. And I was like, I need to test something here. And so I was like, have you guys heard about what's happening? And, they were all kind of like, yeah, maybe, whatever, a little bit. And so I went into this sort of deeply long historical conversation about it, and I lost them all. And they were all glazed over, and they were like, I don't understand. And so I was like, okay, I've given too much information. And I have been working with all of my coaching clients for two very simple things. And that is keep it simple, bottom line owner only. What they want is they want to know what the process is for buying and getting them into their next home. And they want to know how they're going to pay for it. So on this slide, you can see I've got two small little ideas for you. The first one is, and if you watched Christy and I back in April and Anita, we talked about it's very simple. Hi, this is my fee. And there are three ways that you can fund this fee. The buyer pays, the seller pays, or a combination of the two. Now, sometimes you may lose people there. What do you mean? Well, I love analogies. I think analogies are great ways to explain things. And I have to give a shout out, when I was on a coaching session with someone, I actually came up with this analogy. And it's very simple. When you go to a doctor's office, they hand you a piece of paper that says, this is how much your visit is going to cost today. We will run it through the insurance company, but ultimately the visit fee is your responsibility. Now, in real estate right now, with buyers and buyer agency and buyer representation, it is the same. We are going to see if we can get all or some of it covered by the listing side. But at the end of the day, it is the buyer's responsibility to pay the fee. Now, looking at this slide, I have a picture of an empty theater. And the reason why is because you're never going to go on stage not having practiced how to say this and how to deliver. You heard so many great scripts and ideas and strategies from Christy and Jimmy and Jack and David, myself included. You've seen and heard all of these. And we're not the only game in town. I'm sure there are other either local or national webinars that you've listened to. Study them, practice them. You're not going to ever go up on stage with having not practiced. You are going to be practicing with the people that you know and trust, and they can give you feedback and go, that didn't work. I didn't see it, just like I did. So do number 2, the forms. Listen, I know that some associations, some brokers, they're all now starting to deliver their updated, revised, and or new forms. That is so important. Christy had this amazing idea. Upload the form into AI. Have AI say, hey, help me explain this to the consuming public. Study these forms. I am in full belief that our industry is and will continue to be under quite the microscope. We cannot step outside because you will be scrutinized. It's important. Study the forms. Go to your broker, go to your MLS, go to your local association, wherever it is. And if you're not getting them, please, if you're writing notes down right now, please, by all means, start blowing up the phones of the leaders in your local industry. And then again, you're going to practice all of these changes that are laid out on the forms. Now, I put this in here because, as Tom says, I'm the litigious coach. It's because I sat in the broker chair for 9 to 10 years, and we're all here because we want you to continue to be successful and carry that real estate license. That real estate license is what allows you to practice real estate. Making sure that you are adapting to these new regulations, rules, and forms is so very, very important. It's important not just for your business, but all of us. Do number 3, the math. Tom talked about Palm Agent. I'm going to talk about this too. Make sure you know how to do buyer net sheets. Go and download Palm Agent right away. It will walk you through the process of connecting your local MLS, your local taxes, etc. When we're talking bottom line only on do number 1, It's about the numbers. They want to know the numbers. How is it going to affect them when they are purchasing? Making sure that you can run those calculations. Being able to do this quickly, easily, efficiently when you're at a house, showing a house, when you're at the buyer consultation, it will set you apart from the agents who aren't stepping into this. And if you're not familiar with it, again, practice, practice, practice. Now, practice is going to lead us to confidence and energy. If you are one of the 14% of people in the poll at the beginning of this call that has been resisting, then you will be approaching these conversations not with the right amount of confidence and energy that's going to win you the business. Confidence and energy is everything, everywhere. We want to work with people who know what they're doing and have fun doing it. So make sure you're bringing that to the table. Now, we've got the 3 things here. Practice that conversation. When you're practicing, find past clients, friends, family, anyone you can do. Say, hey, you know that things are changing. Can I run this by you? How did this land? Do it at the dinner table. Do it with your kids. If your kids can understand it, if you have them, if your kids can understand it, then you've hit the ball out of the park. Do it with anyone and everyone. Practice at all times. Tom used to tell us the story of how when he was building the company, he had his affirmations and his scripts standing right there. And he would be on his little bouncer and he would go, I can do this, I can do this. This is where we are, folks. Okay, you've got to work out the kinks. If you're not practicing, you're not going to figure out where are you stumbling, where are the kinks, where have you lost people. So work out those kinks. Now, on to some don'ts. If you've seen me speak before, this is one of my favorite quotes, which is conflict arises when expectations differ. Now, why do I have this here? Because on the 3 don'ts, the very first one is don't expect others, and when I mean others, I mean other real estate agents. Don't expect others to behave or have the same level of education and practice as you do. This is a time where I don't know about anybody else, but I'm pretty dang leaning into the fact that I think agent reputation is going to be everything. Everything. Because if we're building in our buyer agent fee into contracts and you're submitting it to an agent on the other end, your reputation is absolutely going to matter. Which also means that in this time of change, right now where we are, this time of change, it's going to be even more important for those of us who are taking the time, educating ourselves, practicing, to lift each other up and say, hey, let's make sure we're doing this. Now, for the love of all things holy, please stop venting on social media. Stop. Jack talked about this earlier. He was on some Facebook groups. There is so much stuff going on Facebook groups, and things can be screenshot and saved. It's like, it freaks me out. And honestly, I have had to personally leave Facebook groups because I am that concerned. I don't want to be associated with some of the conversations I'm seeing on social media.
Hey, Alicia, I got to jump in really fast and just say to everybody, here's my take. Don't write anything in a public forum that you do not want published in the New York Times the next day or used against you in the court of law. Got it?
Got it.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, thank you very much. I thank you. You were firmer than me. And I have here, remember, it's called Fake Book for a reason. Just, if you're freaking out, don't freak out on social media. Stop it. And then the last one is, please, and I've said this from day one, do not try to sidestep the rules. Don't try to figure anything out. Read through the 108 pages if you need to. There's 6 pages that you need to pay attention to out of the 108. And they very, very, very clearly say, do not try to create a mechanism to sidestep the rules, period. Now, I've got 3 immediate action items for you. Number 1, you've got to attend Summit. I mean, Tom has said it, Jimmy has said it, we've all said it. I mean, if you're not doing it, attend the Summit. You will find so many agents to mastermind, role play, practice with. You will have had some opportunity to practice it in real time because it's 11 days after August 17th. That's number 1. Number 2, Go create a mastermind in your local market. Go create opportunities to role play, practice, share what's working, share what's not working. Create that mastermind right now. You will then be viewed as a leader in your industry. And you might be like, Alicia, I don't want to be a leader. I don't care. If you're on this call, you're one of the 2,600 people that are here, you are a leader because you're taking that step. Lastly, go ahead and consider getting into coaching. If you're not in a place where you're finding all of the support that you need and want, call us up. Interview a couple of coaches. I know Christy, me, we are here because we love elevating agents. So I leave you with those 3 immediate action items. And Tom, you're going to wrap it up. So thanks always for the opportunity.
Thank you. All right, Hector, go ahead and turn the chat back on. Jimmy, Christy, Alicia, maybe check out the chat. I'm sure there's some questions there. But what I want to say to you all, first of all, by the way, thank you for the shout out to, I know the most popular, most downloaded app in all of real estate, and it's FREE, free. If you don't already have the Palm Agent app, I'm just going to leave it up there for a minute. Jimmy had a couple of people said, can you put up the QR code for listing leads? And I just was kind of answering for people like in Q&A and chat. If you just go to listingleads.com, the free trial is there, correct?
That's correct.
So the QR code was just driving you there.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys get that. And look, what I want to say to you all in closing is, by the way, a whole bunch of you I just checked have signed up for Summit, so congratulations. You're going to be emailed by my staff. Now, they're going to email you the slides. I'm sure there's going to be an offer, like a last final offer for Summit. I know there will be. There might even be an offer if you're not one of our coaching members. That should be